In this class, let us talk about Para 5 of Schedule 2. Para 5 talks about 6 activities and it clarifies whether these 6 activities should be treated as supply of goods or supply of services. So here there are 6 activities. Let us study these 6 activities one by one. The first activity talks about renting of immovable property. So first activity is renting of immovable property. Let's take an example. Say I have a mobile tower. And I am renting it to Airtel. So I am renting immovable property. Now, am I supplying goods to Airtel or am I supplying services to Airtel? Schedule 2 clearly says that I am supplying services to Airtel. So renting of immovable property is nothing but supply of service. So that is your first activity. Now let us see second activity. Second activity is nothing but Para 5b of Schedule 2. Para 5b is one of the important activity in your entire Schedule 2. Para 5b talks about construction activities. Construction of a building, construction of a complex or construction of a civil structure. Let's take an example. Say I am a builder. My only job is constructing the building and selling it to my customer. My only job is constructing the building and selling it to my customer. The question is whether it is a supply or not a supply. It depends. Government said that it depends on when I am receiving consideration. Government said if I am receiving consideration after building is completed, it is not a supply. But if I am receiving consideration before the building is completed, it will be treated as supply. Supply of service. So 2 points. If I am receiving consideration after it is completed, it is not a supply. If I am receiving consideration before it is completed, it will be treated as supply. So one word which is common is completed. After completion, not a supply. Before completion, it is a supply. So what do you mean by completion? Or when do you call a building as completed building? Government said there are two situations. Where you call a building as completed building. Situation number 1. If building is already occupied, you call it as completed building. What do you mean by occupation? Let's say that I have constructed a house. And family is already started to live in that house. So one family has already occupied the building. So if someone already starts occupying the building, then that building will be called as completed building. So the first situation is if the building is already occupied, we call it as completed building. Now let's see the second situation. Second situation says if I already obtained completion certificate, if I have received completion certificate from the competent authority, then the building will be called as completed building. Once the building is constructed, I apply for completion certificate and competent authority will issue me a completion certificate. So now if I receive this completion certificate, then this building will be called as completed building. So there are two situations. First situation is if building is occupied, then the building will be called as completed building, or if I am receiving completion certificate, then the building will be called as completed building. So there are two dates. You see whichever is earlier date, and the earlier date is completed date. Let's take an example to understand this along with dates. Let's say that I constructed a house on 1st of January and I received completion certificate on 1st of January. So when did I receive completion certificate? On 1st of January. The building was occupied on 10th of January. You tell me what is the completion date? Two activities, either completion certificate date or occupation date, whichever is earlier. So which is the earliest date here? January 1st. So my building is completed on January 1st. Now, if I am receiving any consideration after January 1st, it is not a supply. I need not pay GST. But if I did receive any consideration before January 1st, then this will be treated as supply of service. Then I have to pay GST on that. Now let's discuss one more tricky point. I sold building for 1 crore rupees. I sold building for 1 crore rupees, out of which 10 lakhs I received before completion and 90 lakhs after completion. Now, should I pay GST on 10 lakh rupees or on entire consideration? GST provision says that even if I am receiving only 10 lakh rupees, I need to pay GST on entire 1 crore rupees. So this is the point you need to remember. Even if I am receiving part of consideration, I need to pay GST on entire consideration. Now let's talk about third activity. Third activity talks about temporary transfer of intellectual property right. Temporary transfer of IPR, that is intellectual property right. Let's take an example to understand this. Say I invented a new type of bike engine. I invented a new type of bike engine. Now I gave this technology to Bajaj. I said, Bajaj, you can use this technology for 2 more years. You can use this technology in your two-wheelers. Now first question, is it a permanent transfer or temporary transfer? I am making a temporary transfer for 2 years. Now, am I making supply of goods or supply of services? Schedule 2 clearly says, if I am making temporary transfer of intellectual property rights, then it will be called as supply of service. Now let's talk about fourth activity. Fourth activity talks about development of an IT software. Let's say that I am a software engineer and I developed a banking software for ICICI Bank. Now, am I supplying goods or am I supplying services? Schedule 2 says, if I am developing any IT software, then it will be called as supply of service. Now let's talk about para 5E. Para 5E talks about 3 things. First one is to do an act, second one is to refrain from an act, third one is to tolerate an act. Let us discuss all these 3 things one by one. First one is to do an act. It is very simple. Someone asked me to do something, provide some services to them, and I provided that service to them. This is supply of service. No confusion at all. Confusion is in second and third thing. Now let's discuss the second thing. Let's directly take an example to understand this. Let's say that I am a very big professor in one of the leading CA coaching institute. I am a very big professor. Now I want to leave that CA coaching institute and come out. While I am coming out, CA coaching institute tells me that I should not open up my own coaching institute in that particular city. So what CA coaching institute is offering me? They are saying you should not open your own CA coaching institute in this city. For that we are paying you 1 crore rupees. Now, am I doing something for the coaching institute? No. Only thing is, I am agreeing for refraining from an act. Which act I am refraining from? Act of opening my own coaching institute. For this they are paying me 1 crore rupees. So this refraining from an act is called as supply of service. Now let us talk about tolerating an act. Let's take an example to understand this as well. Say I am Maruti Suzuki. And I asked one of the transporters to take 100 cars. But while transporting, due to their mistake, they damaged 10 of my cars. So out of 100 cars, they damaged 10 of my cars. Now, they will pay me damages of 50 lakh rupees. What are they going to do? They will pay 50 lakh rupees to me as damages. Now, why are they paying me damages? Because I am tolerating their act. That means I have suffered their mistakes. As a compensation, they are paying me 50 lakh rupees. So now, am I giving any supply to them? No, but still this will be treated as supply of services. So we were learning 3 things: to do an act, to tolerate an act, to refrain an act. All these three things will be called as supply of service. Now let us talk about last point in para 5. It talks about transfer of right to use the goods. It talks about transfer of right to use the goods. Let's take an example to understand this. Say I have a bike. I am the owner of one bike. Now I rented this bike to one of my customer. So what am I doing? I am transferring the right to use this bike. Now, am I supplying goods or am I supplying services? Schedule 2 says if I am just transferring right to use the goods, then I am supplying services. So if I am transferring right to use the goods, then it is supply of services. So these are the 6 points in Schedule 2 para 5.